Magic pudding! A magician never reveals his secrets or nutritional information.
10 seconds.
Best of luck. Let's check the electrics.
6, 5,
Okay, fade to black.
3.
They're Branniger and the Hawk.
Hello, I'm the Loud House Critic, one guy with 1,000 views and all the episodes I must review. I suppose you all enjoyed the 100 review. I knew you guys would, because let me tell you, I really enjoyed reviewing it too. And I really enjoy reviewing Loud House episodes. And especially sometimes if they're even real terrible or bad or just meh kind of episodes. Since now we're actually in September, I actually picked out one Loud House character that doesn't have so many different episodes, but she's got at least like 3 episodes that I picked from the actual hat to actually review. And the first thing that came out of my Loud House Critic hat was Making the Grade, the 8th episode of Season 2 of the Loud House, and above all, the 60th episode. There's something really bad about this episode that I really did not enjoy watching. And it so reminds me a bit of Lincoln Loud Gorilla Glue and The Greenhouse. I really hated to say that, but somehow I'm not going to do this review all by myself. There's somebody very special I actually bring on my show today. I first knew about him since 2018 when I first started doing the Loud House reviews, and I started talking to him a lot more in 2019. And he happens to be one of the biggest YouTube fans of my show. He is wise, he's intelligent, and he always makes a lot of good pointers when he comments on my video reviews, as much as Raven of the Night, That Word Jr., David Forte, and many other more. Everybody, please welcome VampireFan 1958.
It's really a pleasure to be on this show. Hello guys, this is VampireFan 1958. You might know me as the guy who requested these Loud House episodes, One Flew Over the Loud House, Yes Man, and Road to Nowhere. And today we will be reviewing this Loud House Season 2 episode that focuses on Lisa Loud, known as Making the Grade. Fun fact about this episode before the review starts, this is the last Loud House episode that was written by my favorite Loud House writer, Alex Schwimmer, who wrote many Loud House episodes that I have enjoyed watching, including Dance Dance Resolution, the first Loud House episode I have ever watched, For Bros About to Rock, The Old and the Restless, A Novel Idea, and One Flew Over the Loud House. Except for Chore and Peace, of course. That episode was a big pile of garbage. Literally. However, he would be involved with the story for another Loud House Season 2 episode called Out of the Picture, and he did get to write an episode of the recent Loud House spin-off series called The Casa Grandes.
That's really interesting, Vampire Fan. Okay, what are we waiting for? Today's Loud House Critic episode was requested by It's Lance 210. Welcome to another Loud House minigame. This one is called Lisa's Data Intelligence. Are you smarter than a kindergarten? Let's find out. If Lisa Loud wanted to whack one mole worth of moles during a game of whack-a-mole, how many would there be?
First off, this title music has some funky disco tunes for intro music for a Loud House episode like this. And some of you guys might not know about the Loud House episodes that were written by Alex Schwimmer is that all of the title music in the episodes he written never used the standard title music you would hear in most of the other Loud House episodes that were written by various writers in the show.
So now we actually get a good start of this episode at Lincoln's elementary school.
Train pulling into the station. Howdy, loudy. Saved your seat, buddy.
You know, VampireFan, you're actually right about that music. That kind of beat puts me in the chill mood.
Hey! 5th grade. After half a decade with these guys, I really feel like I'm part of the gang. Yep, life is pretty good.
Oh yeah, life being pretty good for you as being treated as no luck, being neglected, used as a punching bag, and as in Rodney Dangerfield's terms, I don't get no respect.
Attention, class! I'd like to introduce our new student, Lincoln's little sister, Lisa Loud.
What the hell is she doing there?
Why don't you sit next to your brother? Clyde, you don't mind moving, do you?
Of course not. Hello, Dr. Lopez. Do you have any openings this week? I'm having trouble accepting change again.
What a pussy.
Lisa, what the heck is going on?
I asked to be transferred here because kindergarten is a complete waste of my time.
Isn't everything a complete waste of your time?
There are 2 boy monkeys and 3 girl monkeys.
Nothing like sexist.
How many are there total? Let's count together. 1 monkey, 2 monkeys, 5. 3 monkeys, 4 monkeys. For the love of Pythagoras, it's 5.
Look on the wall onto your right side. You can actually see Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward again. And you'll actually see that picture again in Friend or Foe.
Lisa, you seem a little cranky. How about we all take a nap? Yay! No time for that. I'm this close to synthesizing an antidote for streptococcal pharyngitis. Street name, Scrap Throat.
Wow, killjoy much? Seriously, can't you be normal for at least for the rest of your life? Dear God, why did I just say that? And you all might want to remember that it's kind of important to this episode.
Okay, kindergarten's not challenging you, but why do you have to come to my class?
I wanted to go straight to med school, but that dunderhead in the principal's office said 5th grade was the best he could offer.
Fine, just try not to rock the boat, okay?
Hey, don't rock the boat. Hey, don't rock the boat. I remember seeing an M&M's commercial about that. But the way Lincoln is actually saying that, it's like he's using wordplay on that.
To rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over.
Wait a minute. So the 2 reasons why Lisa ended up in Lincoln's classroom were that she said that her classmates were bothering her since she just wanted peace and quiet to work on an antidote for her classmates' strep throats, and then she wanted to go straight to medical school to finish her work. But someone in the principal's office, or otherwise Principal Huggins in this case, said that 5th grade was the best option he can offer to her.
It just don't add up!
That is kind of a weird solution for Lisa, even for a kid show like this.
Okay, class, you should have read up to chapter 12 of your world history books. Lisa, since you're new, I don't expect you to have...
Done. Interesting read, if a bit light on indigenous culture.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
And I thought Lisa Simpson was actually a fun sucker.
Wow, if a former kindergartner can read the whole book this quickly, I expect all of you to do the same by tomorrow.
Seriously, is that teacher an idiot? You know, her saying that kind of shit reminds me of a certain part from Matilda.
Shut up! The entire assembly will stay 5 hours after school and copy from the dictionary.
I'm not doing it.
Any children who object will go straight into the chokey together!
Get the fuck out!
So with Lisa in Lincoln's classroom, everyone starts to be bothered by her smartness because she completed an entire textbook in less than a minute, which gave Mrs. Johnson the idea to make the students read and finish the textbook they have to read due by tomorrow. Then Lisa made the students take pop quizzes earlier during class time, as she suggested to Mrs. Johnson, so that the students can retain the information Mrs. Johnson teaches to her students.
Now then, later on by 11:05, Ms. Johnson's students actually have to do a robotic presentation. But guess who comes and ruins that?
Give me a moment. Say hello to Todd. He's fluent in over 600 languages.
Hola, bonjour, guten tag, goodbye.
Oh, and he destroys anything inferior to him.
And finally, a robot she created, known as Todd, destroyed the other students' projects because, according to Lisa, Todd would destroy anything that's inferior to him.
Yeah, stupid robot.
You're an asshole.
Oh, say that to my face. I'll come over there and make a beehive out of your metal ass. Okay, I'm sorry. Moving right along. So now we come to Lincoln in the cafeteria room, and here's where the bullshit train comes.
Hey guys, make a little room.
Hello?
It's me, L-Train. What's the problem?
The problem is your sister.
I mean, there's so much self-pity. You sound like you're making excuses. Not everybody, and I'll tell you this, not everyone is awful.
Look, I know Lisa's different, but she'll grow on you. Now, if I could just...
Sorry, you're sitting over there.
The sticky table?
That's real funny about how Lincoln actually did that same anger thing that Charlie Brown did in the Peanuts. But seriously, Lincoln's friends are a bunch of dicks. But then again, they did that same bullshit before in the Hand-Me-Downer.
Wow. Lincoln's friends, except for Clyde of course, are huge dicks to him, which is because they just kicked him out of the lunch table they all sit together, since they don't want to be associated with him, since his sister with her genius attitude is bothering them in class. Gee, I wonder what Lincoln is going to do next.
Now we come to the Loud House, and Lincoln comes into Lisa and Lily's room.
Lincoln, enter. I'm just drafting a proposal to eliminate recess.
That's exactly what I need to talk to you about. You're acting way too smart in class. It's annoying everyone, and they're taking it out on me. Could you please just try and act like an average kid?
Oh boy, does anyone out there even think that Lincoln didn't learn much of his lesson in some previous episodes when he did something like this before? And VampireFan, save your comment on that subject for later, because I think you deserve to say it. Anyway, Lincoln asking Lisa to act like an average kid? You can't be serious.
That's like asking a sea cucumber to act like a cephalopod.
I didn't get a word of that.
I see someone didn't do his science homework.
You know, something I never said before in my previous reviews about Lisa Loud until I started noticing a few things when I was watching more episodes again and again. Lisa is kind of an unlikable character.
What did you say, nigga?
Now, wait a minute right there. I don't mean too unlikable like Lynn Loud is. There are times that Lisa can be such a stick in the mud, but at least we get some laughs from her than we do from Lynn Loud. And Lisa is more enjoyable to watch.
Lisa, please. Thanks to you, I've been banished to the sticky table. Look at these pants.
Milkshake. Get it? I'm sorry.
I sympathize with your plight, Lincoln, and I suppose that acting average could be a fascinating sociological challenge. Okay, I'll do it.
Thank you. You're the best.
Grab my saw. I'm stuck to your pants.
Oh, you bet the hell not.
And that's kind of a dirty humor right there, once you think about where Lisa's head is at. So the next day in school...
Greetings, classmate. It's me, Lisa.
Whoa, you look so average.
Not to mention a duck.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Not to mention creepy looking without the glasses.
Thank you. I created an algorithm based on the traits of typical 5th graders and reinvented myself accordingly.
Don't you need your glasses?
Pshaw. I took care of that.
Want to know how she did it? Get a load of this.
You know, the part where Lisa used laser surgery so she can see without her glasses did make sense, but couldn't she have just worn contact lenses instead? That would have been an easy and painless solution for her.
Physical appearance was the easy part. Acting average is a far greater challenge. So I invented this baby to keep me honest.
That looks like a shock collar. Will it zap you to tell the truth?
Okay, class. Who can recite the Gettysburg Address?
80 85 Elm Street. Get it?
That's what the collar exactly does, squirt water at you? I expected to do more than just that.
Stop that. Who knows the most common gas in the Earth's atmosphere?
Nitrogen. Methane. Get it?
That's bloody charming, that is.
Nothing worse than having a gas joke in an episode. By the way, am I the only one who finds that pretty weird that Lisa actually breaks wind?
Why?
Excuse me.
Time for a pop quiz, everyone.
Pop quizzes stink.
I reprogrammed Todd to be average, too.
I like this Lisa. Badass. Trust me, it may feel good for a while for her to act average, but trust me, things are gonna get real worse when it all goes downhill for Lincoln again.
Hey guys, mind if we sit down?
Lincoln and his super cool sister? Cha, slide down, guys.
This cafeteria fare has no nutritional value, and so I would like to make a proposal.
God help us.
You know, I'm starting to think I wish I actually did have a food fight back in my own elementary or middle school, because I'd actually never been in one before. But Lincoln and his pals and Lisa actually go to the principal's office to pay the piper.
Yes, Principal Huggins, it will not happen again, sir. Or will it?
Wow, and I thought Polly Wheel of the Fury Rhyme was actually that crazy to do shit like this again.
Oh yeah, look out, pooper going through! Please keep your hands inside the porta potty while you drink a drink, bitch!
Hilarious.
Nice one, L-Dog. You sure burned his biscuits.
Lisa, I think you're officially part of the gang.
Funny thing about Lisa trying to act like a greaser and pulling the AE catchphrase as she acts average, the voice actress for Lisa, Laura Jo Miller, was in a Clifford spin-off cartoon from 2003 called Clifford's Puppy Days with Greg Griffin, who was also in the Loud House, and as in a matter of fact, both Gray and Laura were in a Nickelodeon Jr. cartoon together about nearly a decade ago known as Wow Wow Wubsy.
Excuse me.
And Henry Winkler, which the latter played Greaser Fonzie from a show in the mid-90s known as Happy Days, and that catchphrase would be a signature thing that Fonzie would say in the show.
You talk with a deeper voice.
Hey!
Fonz? Hey, yeah.
So this is a good homage to the actor and Gray and Laura's co-star in the Clifford spin-off series in this case, and the show he worked on.
McBride, Principal Huggins will see you next.
He doesn't scare me.
Oh, we'll see about that.
I'm so sorry. Please don't put this on my record.
Men are such babies.
Later that night in the Loud House, Lisa disposes all of her science kit and all of her science chemistry junk. But for somewhat strange reasons, she doesn't really have to take it much that far. I mean, myself, I try to act average like everybody else, but somehow you just can't get rid of the inner me. Street name, the things I love doing best at.
Lincoln, you have opened my surgically corrected eyes. Being part of the gang is way more fun than being smart. Say hello to the new Lisa Loud. Street name, L-Dog.
L-Dog? You know, in high school, my nickname was T-Dog, and that name didn't stay quite for long.
Have you heard of Boys Will Be Boys?
Yeah, I pretty much heard of them, especially for a bros about to rock.
I can't sleep. What else could it be? Missing you.
They're not quite Stravinsky, but I mean, they're so cute.
Did you just say cute?
Dude, you gotta help me cram for my test tomorrow. Sorry, I'm out of the tutoring game. Bogus! Since when? Since Lincoln showed me the joys of being average.
Oh, you better hell not take this out on Lincoln. Dinner time in the Loud House.
Tastes like crap.
Wait, what the hell did he do here? It's not my fault! The recipe is in metric, and Lisa usually helps me with the conversions.
Thanks to Lincoln, I'm out of the conversion game. Except for converting beans to methane.
Okay, I just really want to point two things out about this. First off, the parents not seeing their faces again. Well, during the Loud House production, this episode along with Brawl in the Family and the other episodes after the 11 Louds are leaving were actually already done before Christmas actually could create a Christmas special, which was the first episode for season 2 to premiere. So yeah, Christopher was still kind of keeping the parents' faces hidden until when he decided to make a Christmas special to actually show their faces. Well, if you ask me, those episodes should have been shown first before the Christmas episode. And another thing, Lynn Sr. is always best at cooking. Why the fuck would he actually need Lisa's help to help him cook? Once again, feels weird about a smart girl actually breaking wind. Oh, I will knock each and every one of you out. Then again, I do kind of blame Lincoln for starting this crap.
I've got free passes to the Royal Woods Day Spa for the first caller who can name all 3 classifications of rocks.
Lisa, tell him the answer!
Lamp oil, rope, bombs?
No. You lose, baby!
What? Thanks to Lincoln, I'm out of the geology game.
I will kill each and every one of you with my bare hands if I have to!
Oh, fucking bitches. Just leave Lincoln out in the middle of the damn sidewalk. Now that was plain fucking rude of them.
Oh, hi, Dad. You've been waiting at the train station for an hour? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Just stay put, I'll be right there.
Oh, poor guy. Tell me, what happened?
Well, usually when Pop-Pop's on a train headed east going 80 miles an hour and he has 230 miles to his destination, Lisa can tell me exactly when he'll arrive.
What can I say? I'm out of the algebra game. Right, Lincoln?
Jesus fuck, Lisa. Can you actually stop saying thanks to Lincoln? No wonder this whole damn family is giving him the shaft. Say, VampireFan, what can you say?
What actually makes the scenes where the Loud family is mad at Lincoln for changing Lisa more stupid than mean-spirited after rewatching this episode is that Luna could have just gotten herself another tutor to help her study for her math test. We had already seen Lynn Sr. know how to cook meals for the family without any assistance in many previous Loud House episodes. Lori should have just known what the 3 types of rocks are right now, since she might have already learned about them in her geology class in either middle school or high school. And Rita should have just used an online train schedule to keep track when will Pop-Pop's train arrive, because it looks like someone hasn't heard of train schedules before. In other words, the Loud family don't see Lisa as someone who's part of the family, but just as a very important tool for their lives instead. And to quote Megan McAllister from the 1990 Chris Columbus movie Home Alone, "You're completely helpless. Everyone has to do everything for you." Plus, we had already seen an episode back in season 1 that had a similar premise to this episode. Toes and Tiaras, anyone? Remember when Lincoln tried to change Lana to act pretty and perfect to win a pageant and also receive the Dairyland tickets as one of the prizes, but didn't go so well as he expected? Yeah. And since both of those episodes involved Lincoln wanting to change one of his younger sisters to be someone they're not so he can benefit himself, it also makes me realize that Lincoln didn't learn his lesson after Toads and Tiara, and he had actually brought it on himself in this episode by repeating the same mistake he made in that season 1 episode. And we're not only supposed to root for him in the show, but he's also supposed to be one of the smartest family members in the Loud family.
I love those pointers. That's a really good point you actually gave there. Yeah, more likely they used Lisa and abused Lincoln. That kind of add things up. Anyway, and the kindergarten teacher I actually really despise gives Lincoln the fucking shaft too.
Oh, Lisa, thank goodness you're here. We need the antidote you were working on.
Survey says he fucked me in the ass.
I'm out of the disease control game. My big brother here showed me how lame and annoying it is to be an egghead.
Shut up! Shut up!
And I am out of here.
Way to go, Buster. Now all my kids have strep throat. I'm sorry, but I didn't have a choice. If she kept acting like a brain, I was gonna be out of the gang. Well, as long as it's for a good reason.
You know what? Fuck you!
God damn it.
Oh look, Lisa's kindergarten teacher is also a helpless coward. You're literally an adult and you need a kid's help for your students' health problems? Why didn't you just call a doctor or a nurse to help them in the first place instead of asking Lisa to finish her antidote to cure the kids' strep throats? Lisa's not the only person who could help your students from their illnesses they have, you know. How hard is it to call a frickin' nurse or a doctor in the show? You know, for a popular kid in school, you sure are kind of arrogant.
Yeah, and speaking of that, shouldn't there be a fucking nurse's office around in this school? What the fuck is wrong with these folks in this town? Do they not give a shit about the kids like they... Never mind, I'm sorry. This is nothing like that kind of town. So anyway, Lincoln begs Lisa to actually go back to kindergarten. Well, Lisa not willing to turn down the offer and to keep obtaining the glory.
Lisa, you have to go back to being smart.
What? And give up all this?
Lisa! Lisa! Lisa!
Not likely.
Thanks, L-Dog.
Hey.
Hey. Lisa, listen to me. Any halfwit can be part of the gang. No offense, Zach.
Indeed.
But no one else I know can heal sick people and save Dad's cooking and figure out what time Pop-Pop's train is arriving. What I'm trying to say is, the world needs smart Lisa.
Yep, there goes that same moral that was used in Toad and Tiara.
Flattering words, big brother, but I already bought this leather jacket.
And it looks so good on you, but you really gotta be yourself. As if this bonehead hadn't learned anything from the first season.
I'll pay you back for it. Just go finish the antidote, please.
What about the gang and being part of it?
I'd rather be the one to suffer than a classroom full of kids with strep throat. Man, I can't have that on my conscience.
Okay, but if I go back to being smart, Lisa, you're getting the whole package, i.e. unabashed superiority and zero tolerance for ignorances. It'll probably be back to the sticky table for you.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
Well, he shouldn't give a motherfuck about that.
You're a good man, Lincoln Loud. As Socrates once quipped, to heck with this thing.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
And by the way, that was an actual deleted storyboard scene that was never made into this episode.
So the moral of this episode is to not only be yourself, but that it's okay for your family and other strangers to use you as a helping guy rather than treating you like a normal person. That's just pathetic for them, man.
Oh, boo fucking who?
Line up, no pushing, there's plenty for everyone.
That's what they all say.
I love the shot of Lisa on the back of her head.
So, how'd it go this morning?
They all up and died.
Really?
I'm kidding. It went fine. All cured.
Good job.
Yeah, but in our world, it ain't too fucking fine since we got COVID-19 still going on. And our damn governor is being too stubborn to let us have all our fun back. So, anyway, Lincoln and Lisa are actually heading to the sticky table and get a load of how this load of crap is.
L-Train and L-Dog, bark it!
Really?
I must give you fair warning. I have reverted to my previous incarnation.
I swear she ain't using real words.
Smart Lisa's back.
Smart Lisa's fine by me. My little sissy's in that there kindergarten class.
Yeah, and that virus could have spread to all of us.
Yeah, I believe that's bullshit now. The coronavirus, I mean.
I can't get strep. I've got a date on Friday.
You? Have a date? You can't be serious. That'd be you asking one of Lincoln's sisters out on a date.
Any of you other ladies looking for a date?
I'll be going this way.
We're sorry we treated you badly before. Our class sure is lucky to have someone with smarts like yours.
If that was the real big fucking case, then why the fuck did y'all mistreating Lincoln? He's your best friend. And if that was also another case, you should have blamed Lisa, not Lincoln. I mean, just because Lisa is Lincoln's sister, that doesn't mean you gotta treat Lincoln like crap.
Thanks for your support, guys, but you don't have to worry. I'm going back to kindergarten.
So I can have my seat back? Hello, Dr. Lopez? I don't need that appointment after all.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
What about wanting a challenge?
Meh, kindergarten, 5th grade. It's all a snooze fest to me.
What isn't a snooze fest to you?
I'm gonna pursue my own studies either way, and kindergarten does have one major advantage.
Yeah, like what? Doing the ABCs, numbers, Dora the Explorer? Fucking Teletubbies, Barney. Oh God, no!
Watch me, D-M-E-R-S-G.
Okay, boys and girls, nap time. Now, Lisa, I know you're not gonna want to nap, but...
Are you kidding? After the day I've had, I am bushed.
You know, something about Lisa's PJs I keep noticing throughout almost every episode I have watched. I noticed that she and Len are the only ones who keep changing their PJs. But I'll save that criticism for next week's review.
Oh, and by the way, Miss S, if you attempt to wake me up before my required 45 minutes of REM sleep, you'll have to answer to Todd.
Namaste, Miss Trinidad.
What's the matter? You scared?
That's payback, bitch.
It kills me every single time.
1 mole is a use of measurement in chemistry, which is equal to Avogadro's number, which is roughly 602 followed by 21 zeros. And that's a lot of moles. Tough question, huh? Well, Lisa Loud was always so challenging, like the Riddler. Making the grade. Does it deserve an F- or an A+? Okay, so no lie about this. I clearly necessarily didn't enjoy it. The episode is kind of okay to below average, as if this is the one where Lincoln is at loss regardless. He can't please both his classmate and his sisters, and that's what the episode shows us. But my other problem is with this one is how unnecessary it all is. Lincoln only wanted Lisa to act average. She really didn't have to completely change, and it is a shame as the show did this to try and be over the top. But it gives me my other issue. If she didn't go over the top, this would be perfect, as it eliminates 2 main gripes that I have with this one. Sure, you could argue that he should have had asked Lisa to change, but he'd still be at a loss with his class. But it also subjects Lincoln to scorn and angry looks from his family. I shouldn't be too mad about this, since this did happen because Lincoln wanted Lisa to change, but Lisa didn't have to change herself at home, which Lincoln even says. And it's just another excuse to be yourself episode. Good God. We all knew what the moral was going to be from the beginning, and we knew that we'd actually seen this happen so many frickin' times. That's not to say I love the ending scenes. All conflicts are resolved, sort of, and we get a nice humorous ending, and it was very well done. If this episode didn't do the ending, I would be pissed. So, VampireFan 1958, what's your opinion on making the grade?
My thoughts on the episode as well was that I did like the intro title card music. Seeing Lisa act like a greaser was actually interesting to watch, along with the Fonzie tribute for her new persona. The robot she created was an amusing part of the episode, and the ending for this episode wasn't that bad, to be honest. But even though Lincoln's friends, excluding Clyde, were unlikable for a bit in this episode, and yes, Lisa was unlikable in this episode because of her attitude, but I did think that Lincoln was also unlikable as well in this episode, because he did force her to be average in the first place, instead of accepting who she is just because he wants to save his popularity at school. There were also some continuity errors in this episode, such as the parents' faces not being shown in this episode like the infamous Brawl in the Family after 11 Louds a Leaping, when it revealed their faces for the first time, which the latter episode came out before making the grade. And this wasn't a good Lisa episode until Friender Fox, which will come out later in Season 2 also. And my biggest problem for this episode was that it was not only a questionable be yourself episode like the Laos critic said, but everyone in this episode acts like they can't solve the problems on their own without Lisa's help. Plus, it's really sad to see that after this episode, Alec never wrote another Lighthouse episode after this, despite working on the story of Out of the Picture, and he never came back on the show forever. Well, it was a pleasure watching the episodes you wrote, Alec. And my rating for this episode would have to be a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, this episode wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It was just average, but hey, still better and tolerable than Brawl in the Family in the Greenhouse, and this is actually a better Alex Schwimmer episode than Chore in Peace, I guess. Thanks again for having me on the show, Lighthouse Critic.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you on my show today, and I hope you enjoyed it too. I'm the Loud House Critic, and this episode made me want to go and look back at my school yearbook.
In the loud house, duck, dodge, push and shove, it's how we show our love. In the loud house, one boy and 10 girls wouldn't trade it for the world.
Am I blue? You'd be too, if each plan that you had done fell through. There was a time I was your only one, but now I'm the sad and lonely one.